Act like gents. See, lyrically, what up, everybody? It is 10 a.m. in the District of Columbia, points north, south, east, and west. You're listening to BMitch and Finlay. He's an NFL legend. We are about 30 miles west of the U.S. Capitol and Union Station, which needs to be protected. Good morning, Brian. How do you do?
Good, brother. How you doing, man?
I am great. We are at Commander's Training Camp in Ashburn, Virginia. And don't you dare forget, all training camp coverage on 106.7 The Fan is presented by Paul Henry's Window Installation. PaulHenry'sWindows.com. Your clear home improvement choice. You should get Paul out to a practice. I think he might enjoy it. Now, his son would only like it if they're racing motorcycles, but Paul might enjoy it.
Paul is a little wild, too, now.
Yeah,
you forgot he went somewhere to go hunt elk and everything else.
I think he was in, Argentina or something.
Yeah, he was. He was.
All right, B, we got to watch an hours of practice there.
Yeah.
You know what's nice about getting to the second day of camp is that there's no more questions about how excited are you for the first day of camp.
Yeah.
Now it's just kind of football, and we're all moving forward. I continue to kind of be impressed. I thought you and I were standing there for a couple of drills together, and I always appreciate getting to watch stuff with you. They had some live punting today.
Yep.
Tress was punting, and with these, especially a guy like Tress that's established veteran like that, he doesn't punt every day. He probably only live kicks every couple days.
Yeah.
So it's useful to watch the real kicks. Jamison Crowder was the first returner in every kind of go round, and to me, just looks by far the most at ease doing it.
He looks polished, and I look for wasted motion when a guy is catching a punt. Nothing for anybody listening out there. What I'm saying is, you catch the ball both your feet square. Now you have to gather to start. If you catch the ball backing up, you got to gather to start. And every second,
you want your feet staggered a little?
You want them staggered a little so you can step into it. And every little second, it's about another 10 to 12 yards and somebody's getting closer to you.
Right.
So you can help yourself out. And I watch a lot of guys, even with the jugs machine, catching it backing up, catching it going sideways. And that wasted motion is going to be a problem for you.
Yeah, I agree, man. Good morning to the boys in the aquarium, Jeffrey and Landfill. Everybody doing well?
Yes, sir. What's up, fellas?
Baby?
Okay, like to hear it. We're doing well out here. I was just saying to be name that I can't help but notice is Jordan McGee.
Yeah.
Rookie 5th rounder out of Temple. Any of those Temple guys that get that single digits, I don't know that everybody's aware of how Temple football operates. But I think players on the team vote for guys they think should get the single digits, right? And it's generally the toughest, kind of the captains, and you got to earn that. And McGee got it, and it looks like he's out here starting. Now, they're not going to run a ton of base defense, and we're going to see a million different things. But like today, 11 on 11, it was McGee out there. And that's something I noticed. Brandon Coleman, rookie left tackle, was starting at left tackle with what looked like the
could it be a rotation they're doing?
It could. I mean, it's July 25th.
Yeah.
I don't want to read too much into anything, but McGee, I think, is impressing people. And I think that's what matters.
Okay.
Who is impressing me and everyone is Jaden Daniels.
He is.
What'd you think watching him today?
Well, he looks good. I mean, and like Doc said, I'm not going to get impressed because somebody can go out there and play catch. But the ultimate thing is he seemed to be able to throw the ball in rhythm. He puts it right where it's supposed to be. So I'm impressed by him. Everything he does seems to be, some people just go through the motions. He is trying to improve upon everything. And you have to respect that.
Yeah. I think with Jaden, so he looked really good in 7-on-7. They'll probably run both. When we got to watch him in 11-on-11, they did give Mariota the first reps. I can't stress enough that is not something to be concerned about. DQ was very clear that he is going to make, everybody's going to get the work, and they're going to kind of make this a competition. And in that vein, last year we never saw Jacoby get work with the ones. Yeah. It never happened. So at least they're being true to their word, which matters probably to the guys in that locker room, because if you're going to be completely honest, I imagine perhaps I know that Jacoby was a little pissed that the competition wasn't a real thing. And he loved Sam, and those two had a great relationship, and everything was cool. But that's not something you're pissed at your teammate about. It's what you were told didn't come to fruition.
But I think this situation is totally different.
I agree.
Sam was a guy that they had hope can be.
Right.
Jacoby comes in and you tell him he's going to compete. In this situation, you draft the guy second overall. Mariota understands that. He just left from backing up.
He knew exactly what he was signing up for.
He knows what he's dealing with.
I totally agree. I'm not saying that the situations are comparable, but Quinn has said, no, it's going to be a competition. They're both going to get reps, and at least we're seeing it, right? Like that's actually happening. I don't think people that are like, oh, he should, you got to make sure Mariota or Jaden gets all the reps. It's okay. It's July 25th. There's a lot of work out there.
He's gotten a lot of reps already, believe me.
And I think folks don't understand, like the actual installs, a lot of them anyway. So they have these practices starting at 9 a.m. My guess today is it'll go till maybe 20 more minutes or so. We'll see. Yesterday was pretty quick, and that's normal. It's all within the CBA, the ramp-up period, all this stuff. But they also do damn near a 2-hour walkthrough at night, 90 minutes, and the media is not allowed out there. So in turn, you don't see any action from that on social media. So I think fans think, man, they're done at 10:30, 11, and that's not the case.
They're not done. And I think the thing that fans have to understand, when they are doing stuff in front of you, they're not showing any of their special stuff. Okay? They're showing you the base. And I think that's necessary. You have to do that because let's be real. They can control what we do on the sideline when we're watching. We can't film this and the other. They can't control what the hell those fans are doing. Right. And the last thing you want is something that you're working on to try to be a surprise when you go to play Tampa to be shown by somebody.
Totally.
So you're getting the bases.
Right.
That's it.
Totally.
And it should be understood.
And they're working, like when they go in the building at 10:30, 11 o'clock until they come back out for walkthrough at 5 o'clock. It's not like they're taking a nap.
They're watching film.
Right.
They're watching film of what they dealt with.
Right.
They're going to go in and get some lunch a little bit. Some of them may take a nap, and then they get back to work again. It's a tedious day. Let's say it like that.
Yeah, it's long.
And to be honest with you, compared to how things are today, I don't know. Like, we look forward to the break, siesta as they call it, because you were working full gear twice a day. You wanted to go get some damn rest.
Right.
And then you had to go back to it. In this situation, are you super tired? If you're in great shape, are you super tired to where you need to get rest?
So today we expect to hear from Sam Cosmi and Frankie Luvu at the podium. We'll those are moving targets, and we'll see when that comes to fruition. I did kind of want to run through what we saw from Daniels in the 11-on-11. On the first down snap, he threw an absolute rocket to Bryson Tremaine. Credit to Tremaine, who's the second-year undrafted kid out of Stanford. Stuck around on the practice squad last year. Big body.
Yes, he is.
He found kind of a soft spot in between three defenders, but he sat down in it, made himself a target, and bang, the ball was there.
Yeah.
I liked that throw a lot. There's a run play. It was kind of a busted play. Then now Daniels was out there with the second team O-line, but they're going against second team D-line. But there was almost immediate pressure on a third down snap from his left. And so he rolled to his right, and he had Chris Rodriguez working a wheel route. And I didn't get did you get the number of the guy that was in coverage there? It was tight coverage. The guy was with Rodriguez step for step, but Daniels gave his guy a shot. The ball was beautiful. Mm-hmm. It was beautiful. He didn't come down with it. The defender stayed where he was. It was a good play by the defender. Rodriguez tried to high point it and had his hands on the ball and kind of rested it on the defender's helmet for a minute. Mm-hmm. And you wonder with those gladiator caps what kind of impact that makes on that kind of play, and those won't be in games. And the defender made a good play. Yeah. I wish I got his number. I didn't. But, dude, the touch on that ball, rolling out under pressure, it was an incompletion, and folks are going to get way more excited about whatever dope-ass video the Commanders post from, the sessions that the media is not allowed to post from. And that's cool. That's great.
But he put it where his guy can catch it. He put it in
where
he
only
made a
his
play.
guy
his guy can make a play on it. So, And I think that's the ultimate thing where you want to see, like we talk about guys having a gun. My thing is you don't have to have a gun every play. You need to know when to put something on it, when to take something off of it. And on that play, he did take something off of it and put it in the right spot. Didn't catch it. But you know what? Chris understands if I get out there, he's going to give me a chance. So I better keep running.
Right.
Yeah.
It just, to have a quarterback with the kind of playmaking ability that Davis has and the vision and the touch and the arm strength, like every day DA said this when he was on with us yesterday. And I if anybody knows me, knows how much I respect and kind of look up to David Aldridge. But, all the best thing that can happen this year, and people want to say they're going to go 12-5. That's terrific.
That's fans being fanatical.
Right. And
Let
that's
them
great.
do it. Let them do it.
Right.
Have fun.
The absolute best thing is certainty at the quarterback position. Mm-hmm. And ideally, it is certainty that, we've got our guy.
Yeah.
And every day, little moments, you get these glimpses that, this is the guy.
Yeah.
It's pretty damn cool.
And that's all it needs. I think, depending on who you are, that's important for you to understand that. Fans, they only want to hear about the great stuff. They don't like we can say it takes time, you got to grow into it. They can care less about all that. They want to hear, oh man, he had a great play. And they'll get it every once in a while. You'll give that to them. I'm gonna give them the other part. So they have to settle down a little bit.
Right. I think it's an exciting time to be a Commanders fan. And Landfill, I haven't been able to read this, so you might have to. I'll try to pull it up here. Now, this is according to Sportsbook Review. Okay, I'm not familiar with Sportsbook Review's work, but on X, on Twitter, I wonder when we're going to stop calling Twitter.
Y'all are not going to stop. See,
you don't think it'll ever?
It's just like changing the team name. People gonna call it what they want to call it.
That's true.
Okay, look,
I still call it HBO.
Elon Musk told you I don't like Twitter. I'm changing my stuff to X. Y'all gonna call it whatever you want to call it.
It's true.
As long as you keep spending your $7.99 and $6.99, whatever it is, he don't care.
So let's start with the good people at Sportsbook Review chose a picture of Rally Captain to be
the happiest.
Yeah, you see that?
I saw that.
All right, so shout out to the Rally Captain. The headline, Washington Commanders have the NFL's happiest fans based on AI selfie analysis.
Well, my question would be, has AI selfie analysis talked to a lot of these fans? Because when I talk to people, they're not damn very happy.
I'll be honest, this headline, this story has me less concerned about AI taking over the world. I also would point out, how often do you take a sad selfie? Like, you got to consider what you're doing here.
When you have a sad picture, someone else took it or video, they did it of you. You don't normally post that. And I think AI selfie analysis, if you're listening, you have to understand, people are smiling in certain situations.
Pre-game?
Talk to most of them, and I'm telling you, there's a lot of unhappy people. But you know what? They're more excited right now. I'll give them that.
I'm reading now from Sportsbook Review. Fans from every National Football League franchise have made the case that theirs is the best fan base in the league. And while that might be difficult to quantify, we can at least take a shot at assessing which group of NFL supporters is the happiest. Sportsbook Review analyzed more than 20,000 selfies taken at every NFL stadium, and with the help of AI facial recognition technology, determined which fan bases produced the highest rate of happy faces in those images. Which fan base wears the crown as the happiest in the NFL? Given the team's recent on-field performance, the answer is almost certainly one you didn't expect. Apparently, 61% of the Washington Commanders fan base is happy. And this is based on pictures from last year when they went 4-13.
You know who's the happiest team in the NFL? The damn Kansas City Chiefs. They won 2 Super Bowls in a row. That's the happiest fan base. AI technology, whatever the hell they are fooling themselves.
Maybe the Niners? Like, if I had to guess who are the happiest fans, I could guess it'd be the Niners.
As you stated, Jay, people don't take angry selfies.
Right.
Look, when you take a picture, what do? You smile. You don't go frown up and take a picture. Come on, dog. See, this is my thing about a lot of times when we go with the the analytics and different things of that nature. Who takes a mean picture? Who does?
Like,
who takes a mean selfie? Nobody. So that doesn't make much sense.
I don't know, Jeff. You're deepest into the action, right? You're deepest into Commanders Twitter. I'm in there too. I'm in the minds with you. I don't find this to be true. Do you find this to be true?
Not at all. Most of those happy pictures are blasted smiles after a good time bonding with the fellow fans in the stadium. Not because we won a game. Yeah.
Yo, pregame coming out of the tailgate is when people are posting.
My Lord.
I promise you, walking away from FedEx after some of the Commanders Field after some of them games, you couldn't record audio. You can take a picture, but if you heard what was being said, I don't think you would think we were happy fans.
Hey, Jeff, I know people come up and talk to people a lot. What are they? You can't say the words they're telling you, but they're not very happy, though, are they?
Not at all. they may be happy to be beating traffic, leaving the stadium, but other than that,
no. I mean, maybe if you ask Commanders fans right now, I feel like they're a pretty optimistic bunch right now.
No, they're optimistic.
But like last year's
they're
selfies,
excited.
Get out of here.
They're optimistic and excited. But a team that just went 4-13, you mean to tell if that is true, if what AI, whatever technology is telling you, if that's true, it basically amens what I've been saying. We act like we're just happy to be a fan of the team, but we complain about everything that doesn't happen. So until we stop doing the Ron Rivera, okay, that's what we've been doing as fans. Listen to me. The same people were put on the field every game last year, and they kept giving up big plays on defense. So it tells you they're okay with it. So you mean to tell me your team went 4-13 and you're happy about that? You're not. If you can't be happy about that, I'm not going to buy that. I think this fan base is too intelligent to be happy about 4-13.
Bro, I think the central premise of the study to have facial recognition software identify who looks happy in a selfie is flawed at best and pretty damn dumb, honestly. Landfill, do you agree with this assessment of the NFL's happiest fan base based on last season's selfies?
I do. People were stoked that the team got sold. They were very happy.
That's why
that
why
happened
happy.
for a little while.
See, that right there, they took those pictures on that.
That's
why they were happy.
What was the party called at the bullpen? The Buy Dan party?
Burgundy and soul.
Burgundy and soul.
Burgundy and soul.
That right there.
If it was from there, maybe.
If AI was specifically specified that, I would say you're right. They were happy as hell that Dan is gone. But the play, they were not that damn happy.
I got this tweet from Richmond John. He said, the fans at the games don't particularly seem happy. Fans on Twitter don't seem happy. Fans at local radio events, the ones the team doesn't support, which is weird, seem quite happy. So who knows?
At the radio event?
Yeah.
When they drinking?
Yeah.
Everybody happy when they drunk. You laugh at everything then. Boring joke.
The fact that that's a good one. This is from Nick Turner. He texted me. Of course it's happy. If it's fans at the stadium, they're the other team's fans.
Now, but they dressed in burgundy and gold, Nick.
We'll see, man. Maybe they'll be happy this fall. I do think there's an air of optimism, but if you think fans were happy last year, you got another thing coming. Here's what we're going to do. You will hear from Sam Cosmi and Frankie Luvu when they take the podium. Packed show coming your way. BMitch and Finlay live at training camp.
Good morning, everyone. Well, the final result wasn't pretty, but Juan Yep has provided an early spark for the Nationals last night against San Diego.
2-1, not running the pitch. Swung on, hit it into deep left center field. Back goes Merrill, way back looking at it. This ball is gone. Goodbye. Into the Padres bullpen.
Charlie Slows on the call, heard here on The Fan, as the Nationals got out to an early lead, but fell 12-3 to the Padres. The two teams are back at it for a noontime start. From Nats Park today, listen to it here on The Fan. The NBA has announced they will return to NBC, add coverage on Amazon while remaining with ESPN in their new media deal to start for the 2025-26 season. The side left out of the deal is TNT. And the Commanders are wrapping up their second practice of training camp currently. From the Crop Medcalf 5-Star Sports Desk, this is Adam Pohl on The Fan.
Crank that.
Yes, I'm a rider.
Yeah. BMitch, Finlay, and Greg Abernathy all out in Ashburn, Virginia, Commanders training camp. All of our training camp coverage, all on 106.7 The Fan, is presented by Paul Henry's Window Installation. PaulHenry'sWindows.com, your clear home improvement choice. And listen, man, you can hit Paul up for more than just windows. I'm just saying. It's kind of our secret.
Does other stuff.
You can.
Doors,
gutters.
think roofs.
Roofs. I don't know. Maybe they'll put a pool in for you. At least call them, find out. I don't know if that's something they do. Frankly, I don't think they do. But, whatever.
Put some windows on your pool.
Yeah. Jets officially place Hassan Reddick on the did not report list. That's 50 every day. Now, a lot of now people, like, if you want to.
They said it in the CBA, you cannot give that money back.
Sure, but you can give them a 3-day bonus worth $150,000. Like, you can work your way around it. You know what I mean? I think that, but dude, you look at Brandon Ayuk. I think that's why he is there and not practicing.
Yeah, he
look
showed
at Jordan Love. They call that a hold in, B. Instead of a hold out, it's a hold in.
Yep.
We got to talk about this. I think Brian and I are allergic to our tent because it's just, it's wet and dark.
No, it's
we need some sunshine.
We outside, man. All this damn pollen and stuff running around, whatever.
Commander's still out there going right now, so we're probably going to be, if I had to guess for the audience and for the great Landini, we're probably looking more like 11 a.m. for when the guys will talk. So one thing I wanted to talk, B, I watched Hard Knocks. Are you up to date on Hard Knocks?
I watched 3 episodes last night.
Okay.
Well, I got some opinions about it too.
So fire away.
I just listen, man. As I watched that, Joe Shane is a damn joke. That's the name, Joe Shane. He's a joke. It's to me, it seems like a bunch of people, nerdy people, have gotten together and say we're gonna just dictate what the athletic people in the world are gonna be dealing with and how they're gonna deal with it. They talk about some stuff that I'm like, they are really asking those type of questions about people that you're paying 10, 15, 20 million dollars to. It's weirdish. It's stuff to me. Almost went the complete wrong way. But it's entertaining. They open up things. The whole Saquon thing. He told Shane, I told you where I want to be. Remember that conversation they had?
For sure.
At that point, if Joe Shane was not a dork, he would have understood he's not calling your ass back. That's the last time he was talking to you. Then he calls his agent, and his agent say, if you give us $12,500 per year, $25,000 up front, we can work this deal out. Joe Shane never called back to say anything. So when they call you and told you they got the 37 something, almost $39 million, you knew they were telling you it's over with. And Mara, as I said before I ever saw it, I said Mara is setting him up. When I saw it last night, that little look, drop the head and the shoulders and walk out, you're going to get fired because of what you did with Saquon Barkley.
Mara not. Yeah.
I'm being real.
So what's interesting is Diana Rossini, friend of ours, has launched her new podcast called Scoop City, and she got an interview with Saquon, and and I think she was the first one to get him, and he was basically like, "Yeah, man, this is the way this is being presented is pretty far from what was reality." He was like, "I mean, yeah, I talked to him on the phone that time, but we all knew for months they weren't re-signing me and that I was going somewhere else." Saquon was like, "It would have been more interesting last year when I actually had a chance."
Well, in the third episode, they tried to talk back to about, well, I offered him last year. You offered him last year a certain amount to try and lock him into something where he felt, no, I'm going to show you how I can play. Then I want to get paid. And when the man goes out, sure, you can still perform, because you look at all the little people on their little team. Everybody on that team wants Saquon back. Only person didn't want Saquon back was Shane. That's the only person.
And it seemed personal because he didn't take the deal.
It seems super personal. And all I got to say, when they let him go, but he don't care. He gets his whole thing. That's the difference. This is why football is so screwed up. All the little dorks working around it get their whole contract. You don't get your whole contract.
All the little dorks working.
I'm serious. I left with that opinion last night. There's a lot of damn dorks in sports.
So I watched this week, and this week was the draft, and it was pretty interesting. But for all the consternation, looks like practice just wrapped. So we'll probably hear from Kazmir Luvu relatively soon.
Mm-hmm.
For all the consternation about the Commanders bringing in whatever it was, 15 different players at once for a visit, and the audacity to bring in multiple quarterbacks at once for a visit, I couldn't help but notice the Giants had Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, and Rome Odunze in the meeting room at the same time.
Yeah. But did you listen to the questions that they were asking those guys? Like, they were like, gotcha, trip up questions.
No, you're talking about at the combine. I'm talking about when they did the 30s, when they did their own visits to the Meadowlands.
But still, it's just, it was, the whole thing is weird to me.
Bro, Daniel Jones, I mean, ideally he rolls in there. I'm not saying this like I expect it to happen or that I'm rooting for the Giants in any capacity, but just the dude watching this, he's got to be so pissed. And just as a dude, I almost want to root for him.
But see, ultimately, you assume all those things are being said. That's why when people do their own contract, I say, okay, cool. You got to be used to hearing people tell you how bad you are, because they're not going to tell you anything you did good. So Daniel has to understand when they're going through their stuff, they have to look at it from both fronts. You know, hell, he's gotten hurt 3 times in 2 years. Shane is right about that. Okay. Has he really shown that he's the guy? So we need a legitimate backup, because he probably get hurt again. And we're paying him $40 million. But it seems to me that Shane has put his reputation on Daniel Jones. Like, hey, we paying him 40, so we can't pay nobody else.
And dude, don't you get the feeling watching this that John Mara is so miserable that he is cutting a $45 million check for a dude that it's very clear his staff doesn't believe in?
The man said clearly Saquon is our most popular player. You know what that means? On most teams, your quarterback is the most popular player, right? He was trying to tell you, this dork that you want me to go out here, that's my new word today, you want me to put all my love in, he is not good. You told me to pay this dude 45. Now you don't want to pay this guy 12.5, and you're going to let him go to the damn rival? You better hope you don't play well, because I'm going to send your ass packing. That's exactly what he was saying to him.
Man, one thing I noticed watching last night, Brian Daboll, you know how I, like, when we go out to dinner.
What episode is it on now? 'Cause I got through 3 of them.
Yeah, so it's only through 4 now.
Okay,
so you got
cool.
like one more.
See, I like to binge watch some stuff whenever I decide to get to it.
But Daboll chills in meetings. And you know me well enough, I kind of do it too.
He chills, but he's annoying as hell to me.
He's cocky.
He like, when he came back and tried to ask Jaden Daniels that question again, and he asked another quarterback. It was Drake made a question. let's be real, dude. I'm not on your team. And first of all, the quarterbacks that's going into a game has heard that same play maybe 15,000 times. You asking me about something right now where I'm talking to multiple people about a play, and what does it really say? If you tell me a play right now, and I go talk to a lot of other people, they tell me 15 plays, and I don't remember your play. Does it mean I can't remember? It just means that the other stuff was more entertaining to me. I don't have to sit up there and be and spit it out, because when you give me your playbook, I'm going to learn your playbook if I'm on your team.
Totally. And it's like, are you trying these gotcha questions?
He was trying.
What's the point of it?
When they talked to, what's my man from the Bears, Caleb basically was looking at him like, dude, I ain't going to be here for y'all anyway.
Right.
He didn't give a damn about it. And you know what? I applaud him, because
didn't Deion once not take a meeting? He's like, oh, I'll be gone before y'all
yeah.
draft.
But see, like, the thing of it is, like, listen, players are always told to always be on point. You got to always be perfect. When you're dealing with these dumbass owners, these dumbass coaches, these dumbass GMs, why do I always have to be on point? Like the guy told me, oh, man, you always seem like you're going straight forward. You don't do a lot of dancing. And what the hell is that? The object of the game is get first downs, gain yards, right? So if I'm not dancing, who gives a damn?
Fair.
It's some stupidity in sports, dog.
You know where there's a lot going on? You know where they got a lot of moving parts?
Where?
San Francisco.
What else going on? Oh, Trent didn't show up.
Trent didn't show up.
Yeah. But and Kyle said this is a contract thing. But you know what? The answer from Kyle says we're going to take care of it.
I'm not sure that's what it says. Let's dive in when we come back. You're listening to BMitch and Finlay.
Hi, BMitch and Finlay, 106.7 The Fan. We're out here at training camp. Second day of training camp. Training camp coverage is on 106.7 The Fan. It's presented by Paul Henry's Window Installation. PaulHenry'sWindows.com. Your clear home improvement choice. We're going to be having, I think Sam Cosme and Frankie Luvu will be going up to the podium here shortly.
Question for you, B.
Jay is sitting down now. Just take over the conversation when I'm talking.
What? I had a question for you.
Go ahead.
I was helping one of the players' wives get a bottle of water.
Why are you out of breath?
I'm not. I'm thinking.
Out of
So
breath.
I don't think I'm out of breath. Maybe I am. I've noticed over the years watching a million different players end practice. Almost everybody has a different practice ending routine.
Yeah.
Some guys go and do jugs machine. Some position groups get a little extra work in. Some guys just stand around and BS.
Yeah.
Some guys, I'm sure they have them. I haven't seen them have the cold tub set up. What was your post-practice routine?
Get off the field as quick as I can.
Really?
Yeah. Once the coach gave us our little deal, especially during our training camp, we worked. Okay. And I think that they are way more, they have been a little bit more intensity than they did before. They move quickly. So after that was over, I was trying my best to go in my room and relax for the next one. And then after that last one was done, boom. And if he ever told us we were going to have some time off, my car was already packed. I was trying to find somewhere to get away from it because just being away from what you see every day, it keeps your mindset fresh.
Was that different when you were younger, like rookie year?
No, I did it when I was young. I did it when I was old. All of them didn't make a difference to me.
What do you think about Trent?
Well, I believe that Trent for me, JB steps away. You got to go do an interview here. But the whole thing with Trent Williams, I think Trent has proven how good he is. And I think he's at a point where he can basically sit here. And when people start getting money, everyone says he's the best left tackle in football. And if you are the best left tackle in football and you're still playing like that, no matter how many years you played, how old you are, you probably deserve to get paid more. And the fact that he didn't show up or he didn't practice and his coach said, yeah, it's a contract thing. He didn't seem mad. And I think the ultimate thing is that, we talking about Brock Purdy a lot. Brock Purdy does the things he does because he has great protection. And if you're your guy that leads that protection is Trent Williams, he deserves that. But I think the ultimate thing is, why go if he I hope he showed up to the building. I didn't get all of that information, just like Ayuk did. Because if you show up, they can't find you. If you don't practice, if you don't show up and at all, then they can find you. So the ultimate thing is trying to get out there. But some people, and in life, and I'm sure everybody understands this, when you have the ability to be able to do the things that Trent are doing, you do it. Because they damn sure going to do it against you. Look how hard he had to work to get out of here to get somewhere where they're going to treat him with that love and respect. He had doctors telling him the wrong thing here. He had the owner and a damn GM that didn't totally respect him. Because if they totally respect him, he'll still be here. They'd have made sure that deal was done. So I understand that aspect. And everybody can't do it. Everybody want everyone to be treated the exact same way. Life is not fair sometimes. Some people can, some people can't do certain things. So the ultimate thing for me is when you can do it, you take the best of it. It's called leverage. If you have it, you use it. Because if you don't use it, you're going to be wishing later on in life that you could have done it. So the ultimate thing for me is, Trent, do what you have to do. But we're really a team that covers the Commanders more often than, I went down there today to look at a lot of stuff. And, I was just here, like people asking, what are you looking for today? Which group you looking at? I'm not looking at any group per se, because they're not really doing anything that intense, that hard to where I need to see the true competition, because they're installing. They gradually are putting on pads, making the practices a little longer. So I wanted to see the intensity of practice. And the little deal we talked about in the offseason where they do the bags drill, where they are actually offenses competing against the defense. And it may not mean anything to a lot of people. And I know Jay said, well, as long as you win, and if you can do it, but if you don't, but the thing of it is competition. This man has found a way to make everything into a competition. And when you're dealing with a bunch of alpha men driven by testosterone. If you put them in a level of competition, they're gonna go out there and try to see who's the best. And every day you get the offense going against the defense. That's both sides going through this bag drill, everybody. And at the end of the drill, you see who finishes first. That to me would be cool. I don't care if we won the game the day before, lost the game the day before, the week before. It wouldn't make me a difference because at that moment, I have something in front of me that can say that I'm better than you. And I will be pushing the hell out of my teammates to do a little bit more. And I'm sure somebody on the other side will be pushing their teammates. This is what we need. This is what we've been wanting. A guy who could come in here and tap into all of that testosterone, all of that alpha male type syndrome, and bring that stuff to a football field. They did a special teams drill. And for me, everybody was looking at the little drill. I didn't care about the drill per se. I cared about the fact that Bobby Wagner was involved with the deal. I saw Terry McLaurin involved with it. I saw Austin Eckler involved with it. I saw Dorrance Armstrong involved with it. It wasn't a person not involved. Everybody was involved with it, which means that they see special teams as vitally important. And when you see special teams as vitally important, your whole team going to see it that way. Offense, defense, going to be cheering for them, wanting to participate. As I said when I was in Philly, I had Bobby Taylor, Troy Vincent, Al Harris, and Brian Dawkins. Those were my vice guys. Those were the 4 top backs, defensive backs on the team, and they blocked for every punt return I did. When you have that type of importance on it, your team is going to get better. We're going to take a quick break here. When we get back, we'll probably talk a little bit about the things that the Cosme Luvu discussed at the podium. BMitch and Finlay, 106.7 The Fan. Back shortly. All right, welcome back. BMitch and Finlay, 106.7 The Fan. All of our training camp coverage is presented by Paul Henry's Window Installation. PaulHenry'sWindows.com, your clear home improvement choice. As we told you, we're out here at training camp, and right now at the podium is Frankie Luvu talking to the media.
And just put me anywhere you want and just grow from there. Be a sponge everywhere I be and, make plays on the field.
Terry mentioned yesterday the veterans on this team putting together a pledge of the standards that you all are going to hold each other to.
Right.
Could you give us some insight on that? Not any specifics, but just relative to what that was about.
Like any other team you go on, I said this for the vets to put together a standard and to uphold with the whole team. We buy into it, we pledge to it, and every day we walk on that field, we hold each other to that standard. I think having the structure in the team and in our locker room is going to build that foundation inside the locker room and on the field.
Hey, Frankie, obviously communication's a big thing, especially in the middle of the defense. How do you feel like you and Bobby are getting in sync there? I know you have history, so.
Yeah, man, sometimes we don't say anything, but we just feel, each other just connects, man. Like we just kind of play off each other. The communication level, man, between me and him is on point. So it's moving forward, and the process is to keep it at that.
And then one of your younger teammates, Jordan McGee, how do you feel like he's kind of coming along as you get into now the training camp phase of things?
Oh, he's picking up real quick. He's coming on a long way real quick, man, for a rookie. Taking everything as early as it is in camp. Man, he's just been a sponge and trying to, pick our minds, me, Bobby, and the rest of the defense. So, man, looking forward to work with him the rest of the camp.
Frankie, I know some may say it's still early. It's only day 2 of training camp, but how important is it early on to get the little things right?
Oh, man, I think it's very important. This is where we build, the brick by brick foundation and the standards that we want our team to be at in December. So, it's the little things right now. We don't have the pads on. So from there on, we need to work on, our techniques, our fundamentals, our steps, just playing smart football and looking out for each other. But at the same time, we're competing between the whistles and on that field.
Hey, Frankie, Ken Norton has been a widely respected linebackers coach for a while now. I mean, what has it been like being in the room with him? What have you learned from him so far?
Man, I call him, he don't know this, but I call him 7-11. He stayed talking. He's open 24/7, just stay talking. And I love it, though, because he brings the energy, especially days like this in camp, man. The room can get a little quiet, long days and, getting in and out of the meeting room. But, Ken always bring that energy every day. The moment we stepped in that building. So it's going to be a fun season working with Ken. And, looking forward to it.
And obviously this coaching staff that brings a lot of energy, not just with Norton and Danklin, but everybody else. I mean, how have you felt that energy kind of seep itself way into the team?
Man, it's a lot. Just you see it through the guys, man. Everybody I bet that come up and talk to the podium. That's what we feed in the locker room. A lot of energy on both sides of the ball and special teams. So, like I said, from the beginning, building brick by brick and setting that standard of, the vets to kind of hold and moving on from that.
Hey, Frankie, Ben Standig with The Athletic. I'm sorry if this was something that was asked, but so far they've been talking about the coaches about how they want this defense to, run fast, be aggressive, all those types of traits. It feels like you are sort of the epitome of that. Do you see yourself as that type of run fast, guy who's going to, keep this defense up tempo?
Man, I think there's a lot of guys on this defense. I came on this defense and being put together with the guys that like Chin. You got Bobby, year 15, I think. But he's still moving. 13, appreciate that. And he's still moving at a high level. Payne, a lot of guys on the team, especially on the offense, man. That's the type of caliber team that we want. Guys running, playing at the end of the whistle, and finishing downfield is what we always talked about. So. But get in the best shape right now. We got to get in the best shape. And, when come December, January, February, man, we standing there.
And you already came in with the ability to play multiple spots. I guess, how is that going? Is there much of an adjustment with what they want you to do compared to what you're doing before?
Nah, no adjustments at all. Just just getting the playbook down and just working from there. And, everything will just fall in place. But nothing has changed, though, first of all.
Frankie, your third organization in the NFL. What about this one so far stands out from the other 2 stops you've had?
Oh, man. Being with the Jets 3 years, Carolina 3 years, I always, accept them as my family. They've been a part of my life. But now to this new open doors and opportunity here in Washington, man, I'm always blessed with opportunity. So nothing has changed, man. Nothing has changed but the rims. So, like I say, every day we come in, man, we hold ourselves to that standard, and damn, we're gonna go from there. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Frankie Luvu talking, and he's a guy that we brought here to be a guy that's going to play fast. He's a tackling machine. He brings a lot of energy off the edge, and we hope to see that throughout the year. I'm looking forward to watch this young man play because he plays violent. Okay, and I'll tell you over and over again, football rules can change all they want. If you stop playing the game how it's supposed to be played, you're gonna end up hurt. And that dude plays violent like it's supposed to be played.
Yeah, I think Luvu's got a big opportunity. I got to say, B, we did some joking around whenever that was last week about who should have number 30 in the all-time DC list, and it was you. For all the morons that couldn't figure out we were just messing with BMitch, it's very obviously
that wasn't messing with me. I wasn't concerned.
You understood it was a joke, but there were people that did not. Anyway, I just got to talk to Austin Eckler for a little bit there. He's wearing number 30.
And I'm impressed. I like it.
Yeah, dude. And when you get to talk to him a little bit, you get more impressed, I would say.
Yeah, he's an impressive young man.
And dude, I mean, he's made some plays that sure seem like he can still go. You got to wait to see once the pads come on for sure. But he's definitely made some plays. I think specific to Frankie Luvu, 2 years ago in Carolina, he had 7 sacks. Last year, that number fell a bit to 5.5. His role kind of shifted.
Right.
If you look at kind of his snap counts, he was on the field in Carolina over 90% of the time when the defense was out there. So this is a true 3-down linebacker. Kind of unleashed in a Dan Quinn hybrid style, moving guys around defense. What do you think is possible there? Especially if you go back to Carolina when they started awful with Matt Rule, but then Steve Wilkes took over and it kind of settled down. And I think they stopped getting blown out so bad, and then they were playing good defense, and I think Luvu really excelled in that. What do you think Luvu can be as a pass rusher?
I think, and I'm not trying to compare him to Michael Parsons, but I'm saying he can play that type of role to where he'll be rushing from the outside on this play. Later on in the drive, he may be right there at the middle linebacker. You know what I mean? Because I think Frankie has the ability to rush from any position. And I think that is something that keeps the defense off. If you're keying on him and he's over on the right side coming off the edge against your right tackle, you look again, now he's on the backside coming off against your left tackle. Now he's in the middle. What are you going to say? Send the strength to him, or you're going to have to try to figure it out. And I think once they find out an advantage, they're going to try to utilize that. If that guard can't block him, hell, go right in the AB gap all day.
Right. I think we're going to see Luvu and Wagner on the field by far the most.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we all got to hesitate making I think we all got to slow down as much as possible talking about Jaden. We haven't seen anything, right? I think we all got to slow down. Yes, Joe Witt was pass game coordinator of that Cowboys defense. In the last 2 years, they've had corners get a ton of interceptions.
Yep.
Deron Bland and Trayvon Diggs before him. And yes, Dan Quinn was the guy that figured out how to best use Micah Parsons, right? All those things are true. That doesn't mean any of those things are coming here, but you've got to like the opportunity for these guys.
You know what I love about it, though? I think when you listen to Dan Quinn talks, it's not that he's trying to bring a Michael Parsons here. If he finds somebody that could do some of the things that Michael Parsons does, he's going to allow them to do it consistently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he comes in and finds out that Jaden Daniels can do that, or Frankie Luvu can do something like that, he's going to utilize that. And we talked about it over the years where we had coaches that came in with a game plan, and that's all they ran. They built their scheme and ran it. And if things weren't working, they still say, run my scheme. Instead of saying, well, you could whip this dude one-on-one, whip him one-on-one. We'll figure out something else to do off of that. I think Dan Quinn is here to find out who can do what the best and consistently, and then go out there and use them and have them do what they can do. just like when we get out here, we always talk about what guys couldn't do. That's why he's on the field, can't do this, can't do that. What can he do? You know,
Right.
If he's a guy that was good enough to get drafted in the NFL, he should be able to do something on a football field to help you out. So just because he can't do what you wanted him to do, see if he can do something else, you know? And I believe that this coaching staff is that type of staff.
I think it's a great point is rather than, and I don't think it's weird because you're trying to thread this needle where you're not looking for position flex, but you're trying to figure out how guys can help you. And I think, you know, some of this conversation around Jamin Davis as a pass rusher confuses people. Like, yo, you know, we thought this dude was a linebacker. Why can't he be a linebacker? It's not about that he can't be a linebacker, because I think we've learned now, especially as a weak side backer, Jamin can play a little bit.
Yep.
But what if he can be a really good pass rusher? What if that is a skill? And if you look at Luvu, he never really got a ton of those opportunities. And then when Rule got fired and Steve Wilkes took over, the last half of the season in Carolina in 22, he had 7 sacks in 8 games.
What has happened in our professional football, Jay? People have become more specialized.
Sure.
So if I have a guy who couldn't do what the previous staff thought he could, they wanted him to do, and then I can put him on a football field, and I allow this guy to rush, and he's exceptional at it. You mean to tell me you can't put him in the game 25, 30 times a game and say go rush somebody, and he could be a important part of your game plan? You know, when the Giants beat the Patriots and they had Justin Tuck at 260 pounds playing nose guard, and he was beating the hell out of every center in this league. Then when you saw the Eagles, when they went to the Super Bowl and they had the NASCAR package going on, that was not nothing that we ordinarily saw. But they had something that they saw gave other people problems. So what if Jamin ends up being somebody like that? And what if somebody else ends up being somebody like that? You know what I mean? You got to use that. The days of not being flexible in your teachings are gone. You got to figure out a way to do it, especially with the amount of money that they're putting into these guys. If I draft you and you're not great at what I want you to do, but you're great at a certain thing I expect you to do, I'm going to let you do it as often as you can. I'm not going to just get rid of you.
I mean, I'm with you. I think, and these guys, the new staff, the new front office has so much to try to figure out because they have just signed 35 people.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of new people that came in. They drafted another, they end up with 9 draft picks and then another like 10 undrafted guys. Like they've overhauled this thing.
Yeah.
And what would be really stupid, and I don't think they're trying to do, is, all right, we got our guys, the guys that are here, they're at a disadvantage. We'll see what happens with them, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that's the plan. I think they're still trying to figure out the guys that are here, how best can they help the football team?
Yeah.
And just because that's the way something was going doesn't mean it has to be the way things go going forward.
I'm with that.
And like, if you bought a house and you know you want to blow out the back and put another bedroom in and put another bathroom in, that doesn't mean you just throw everything from the dining room away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe you rearrange it or buy a new table or something, but like
some of that furniture may fit in the bedroom. You may have a bedroom in that bed.
Right. Exactly.
You know, it's just, I think short-sighted mindsets don't work in football anymore.
I agree.
You know, and like I use the example of Brian Westbrook all the time, but there were other people around the league that they did that type of thing with. You know, you don't just, hell, when I first got here, I knew the playbook, but I hadn't played all those positions. But Joe found ways to get me involved. You know, Pettibone, hey, I want this guy to run for me. You know what I'm saying? It just, you have to be able to think outside the box sometimes. Football is not just plug and play. And the size of a person means nothing. It's the ability. Ever since I saw Elvis Dumerville at 5'11", 240,
I thought he was shorter than
have
that.
like 20 sacks. I said, if a guy can do something, let him do it. that notion of, oh, you got to look a certain way, be a certain size, bunch of crap. Can you play or not? Hell, I was there talking to a guy earlier. I was told that I was not the build or shiftiness to be a punt returner. So that tells you right there, based off of their stats and their analytics, they were stupid, right? Case closed.
Yeah, I looked up Doomerville. I thought he was even shorter. Pro Football Reference lists him at 5'11", 250. He has 2 sack seasons, a 12.5 sack, an 11, and then a whole bunch of 9s. In 99 career starts, he had 105.5 sacks.
Doesn't it make sense that a guy at 5'11" get down, that guy 6'5", 6'6" can't get down low enough and still have the power he needs? But everybody wants the pass rusher to be 6'6", 6'7". You getting down to my same level, and I'm still powerful.
I mean, do you remember? And they didn't have the same level of career, but Junior Gillette. Now he was bigger, but do you remember how low he played out of that 4-point
Vaughn
stance?
Miller,
right?
Same thing.
Yeah, man. There's one of the absolute best parts about the game of football is that there's something for everybody.
Yeah,
big guys, short guys, fat guys, skinny guys. Like,
who do we say was the best defensive tackle in football?
Aaron Donald.
The last 10 years. How tall is he?
They said he was too small.
He's 6 feet, 280 something, and he whooped everybody they
6'1",
saw.
280.
6 feet.
Right.
He's 6'1" when he put on his cleats.
Right.
But he was a bad man on that field.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Here's what we're going to do. We got to make some bets on the program. We got a little Nats baseball coming your way. Nobody go anywhere. It's BMitch Finlay.
Hey, it's Brian Mitchell here. Are you tired of those lackluster cooling systems? Well, it's time to switch to Ruud and feel the difference. Thanks to the IRA Act, you can score up to $2,000 in tax credits on select heat pump systems. And Maryland residents, there's exclusive rebates from Ruud just for you. Personally, I've upgraded to 3 Ruud 18-series inverter heat pumps to stay cool at my house. Ruud keeps me comfortable when I'm chilling at home or holding game day parties. So beat the heat this season and visit Ruud.com. That's RUUD.com to see why they're the MVP of cooling. And remember, if it ain't Ruud, it ain't right.
time. B and I out in Ashburn at training camp. All of your training camp coverage on 106.7 The Fan is presented by Paul Henry's Window Installation. PaulHenry'sWindows.com, your clear home improvement choice. And listen, there's lots of programs talking about lots of things. Brian and I talk about football. And all football coverage on 106.7 The Fan is presented by T-Mobile.
Yes.
Switch to T-Mobile and you can get tons of benefits and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. Use their savings calculator to find out how at T-Mobile.com/switch. That is so hard for me to say. Can you say it?
/switch.
I think you should do the T-Mobile read. Last but not least, caller number 10 right now. 800-636-1067. 800-636-1067. Caller number 10, you will win 2 tickets to Green Day, the Saviors Tour, Monday, July 29th at Nats Park, including special guests, Smashing Pumpkins, Rancid, and the Lindas. I know my guy Derek loves Rancid.
Lindas.
For tickets and more event information, visit thefandc.com/events. Tickets are courtesy of Live Nation. Now, I'm confident Jeff has to answer 100 people calling to get these tickets. Let's make some bets.
I heard it here first. Gather around.
Real quick, I want to clarify something for the people. 48 got a really cool video of Sam Hartman running a mock 2-minute drill after practice had ended. He had rookie tight end Ben Sennett out there with him, as well as my guy, the undrafted guy, Colson Yankoff, who just continues to have a good camp. I retweeted it because I love that. I love that grind in these kids, right? That does not mean he's QB2. Oh, there's no plan that he's QB2. I kind of still think he might be a practice squatter, but I think that is a fun battle for QB3 between Driscoll and Hartman this preseason. It's something fun to watch. But, folks, he's incredibly good looking. He's got great hair.
Good looking to win football games.
Chill with the QB2 talk. All right, Jeffrey, I don't know if you're answering phones or what, but I'm ready for some bets.
He's answering phones.
Okay. Well, how did everybody do last night, Landini?
I lost because the Nats suck, unfortunately.
I think I lost. I had a Nats-Orioles parlay because surely both of them wouldn't lose a second straight night.
I had a parlay, but one of the games was postponed.
All right. Postponed?
Yes.
I think that's a loss.
A postponed game is not a loss.
But in a real parlay,
if you postpone the game, you're not going to call it a loss because the game was not played.
I feel like we should call it a loss.
No.
A parlay, you have to have both bets hit.
No,
like if one bet's a push in a parlay, it's a loss.
If you hit the bet and they don't play the game and they're going to do it another time, that game will not be a loss.
Tischler, BMitch had a baseball parlay last night. One of the games got rained out. What happens? No, you don't win one.
Bruh,
I'll give you no bet.
No. See, you can't be. You try to change up rules every time it don't benefit you. This is the only man I know out of all of us that gamble more than you do.
All right, so Tischler said, did you win the other bet?
Yes.
Landfill, what do you think?
Ain't what y'all think is what the damn rules are. I don't care if y'all think. Both
Mitch,
of y'all,
get the hell out of
both
this
of y'all
tent.
don't think most times. Why the hell y'all gonna think for the first time?
I got news for you.
What's the news?
Well, let me make sure I'm accurate. You know what happens 1 week from today?
Don't know. There's gonna be a game.
NFL preseason game. 1 week from today, we'll be betting incredibly stupid bets, but we'll be betting on an NFL game.
Give it the Dodgers tonight.
And it's Derek's birthday.
I'll take the Dodgers and the Braves tonight.
So what are our records then? I'm 1-2.
I'm taking the
1-1.
Padres money line because Corbin is pitching.
Now you're talking. Isn't Corbin weirdly good in day games though?
Yo, everybody, Landfill and I 0-2. JP, you're 1-1. B was 1-1. But
I'm taking the Nats. Jeff, we got to bounce. Text me what you take. Thank you to everybody that listened to the program. Nats baseball coming your way. If you made it this far, BMitch owes you a beer.
Nah.